Welcome to Fireside Giants. My name is Zach, my co-host here, Anthony Rivardo. If you are new to the Fireside Giants channel, make sure to like and subscribe below. As always, my friends, today was the first day of rookie mini camp for the New York Football Giants. Evan Neal looking like a mammoth out there running around, doing his thing. People mover. How good does it feel to know we never have to watch Nate Solder again? I woke up today and I was like, holy shit, I don't have to watch Nate Solder again. It's a miracle. I thought this day would never come. We get to watch Evan Neal and Andrew Thomas lock down the offensive tackle spots for this team for the foreseeable future, given they continue to develop. Evan Neal obviously coming into the NFL as a dominant run blocker, has a couple of flaws in pass protection, but he has plenty of experience at right and left tackle, so he definitely is going to be the easier of the bunch to make the transition to the right side. I'm really excited. I want to discuss today why these two tackles, it's not just important for an NFL team to have offensive tackles, but specifically the Giants because of the NFC East. And the NFC East is littered with premium pass rushers. I'm going to give you some insight into those guys shortly. Before we do, my friend Anthony, how you doing today?
I am doing wonderful, and it is so great to see Evan Neal out there, to see the fact that the Giants have finally established solid left tackle and a solid right tackle. Solid tackles on both sides. It's been a long time coming. The Giants have tried time and time again over the last 10 years or so to solidify these positions. They have failed each and every single time. And now, finally, it looks like Joe Schoen has accomplished this feat. It seems like he has gotten a premium right tackle to pair with a premium left tackle. Granted, Dave Gettleman did find that left tackle. Thanks, Dave. That was his parting gift to us, and I'm thankful for it. Andrew Thomas was a great parting gift. But now, pairing him with Evan Neal, I mean, there is a lot of potential on the Giants' offensive line now. This could be potentially two Pro Bowl offensive tackles playing alongside each other for 5 to 10 to 15 years. Who knows how long they'll stick around for the Giants? And they might be some really, really good players for the Giants, both from the SEC. You got Andrew Thomas. He looked iffy as a rookie, but year two really took that step forward. Could be the same for Evan Neal as he, transitions to the next level. But honestly, I think his experience at right tackle in college and the fact that he is such a dominant run blocker from the collegiate perspective, I think he's going to step in day one and already make an impact and already be a good offensive tackle. And he's only going to get better. So I'm super excited about this. You mentioned it. The NFC East is littered with great pass rushers. We're going to get into that, discuss these matchups. But man, the Giants are sitting in a much more favorable position than they were months ago when taking a look at their offensive line versus the NFC East pass rushers.
Yeah, I mean, last year, whenever the Giants were about to play a game, we were like, okay, so who's beating the shit out of Nate Solder today? Is it Derek Barnett? Is it Brandon Graham? Is it Chase Young? Is it Montes Sweat? It could be anybody, and Nate Solder was getting, well, God, another pause moment. I'm not going to go that route today. I'm going to stay within my own lane, and the Giants are in a much better spot than they were last year by miles. And just to look at the NFC East pass rushers, let's start with the Washington Commanders. I'll never appreciate that name. They could have been, honestly, the Red Hawks could have been better than the Commanders. But let's take a look at the defensive ends. The two main guys, Montes Sweat and Chase Young, right? You need to have bookend left tackles to stop those guys. Montes Sweat had a better season. He had a pretty good season the last 2 years. Thus far his production has been better than Chase Young's, but Chase Young is still a great pass rusher with a ton of power. I think he tore his ACL last season. So coming off that injury, definitely tough, but he is still a menace, as someone to reckon with. And the Giants need big bodies and great guys with great technique to hold it down. So Evan Neal, coming from Alabama last year, he had 1,073 total snaps. 423 of them came in the run blocking category and 650 in pass blocking. There are not many human beings that are going to be able to move this man an inch, right? 6'8", 345 pounds. He ran a faster 40-yard dash, or he's faster and quicker than Ikem Ekwonu. Of course, he doesn't have that same interior versatility. However, Ikem Ekwonu, definitely could have a phenomenal career. Evan Neal going to right tackle has the experience at right tackle. And that was the main point that I wanted to make, is that he has 765 total snaps in his career at RT, coming most of them in 2020. So, looking at him, the transition should be rather seamless in terms of fundamentals and technique. The fact that some people thought he would replace Andrew Thomas, the left tackle, after the season he had last year was kind of crazy. But now we know Joe Schoen is like, we're not doing that. He's playing right tackle, and the Giants now have those bookend guys. Now the question is, can the interior line help them out? Is is Joshua Azudu, who we talked about a couple days ago. Can he win that starting left job spot? He has the quickest feet of any guard I've seen in a while. But he does have some problems with his hands and feet and in chemistry, so we'll have to work on that. But Bobby Johnson, good coach. Hopefully he can iron out those deficiencies. But Anthony, when you're looking at Evan Neal, how important is it for him to be on this team now against some of these great pass rushers like the Chase Youngs of the world? Dallas has Micah Parsons, for goodness sakes, DeMarcus Lawrence, Philadelphia, Brandon Graham, Derek Barnett. This is essential. You know, they have Josh Sweat as well. This team needed a good right tackle, and Daniel Jones, this is his chance to show us what he's got, and Evan Neal is going to be the catalyst for that.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it is crucial. It's of the utmost importance, especially when you're taking a look, if we're going team by team, taking a look at the Washington Commanders right now. I mean, on the left side, we had a really great battle there when Chase Young was healthy between him and Andrew Thomas. Now, Chase Young did tear his ACL. He did suffer a season-ending injury, but we know he's going to return to form, and he's going to be one of the best pass rushers in the NFL when he's healthy, like he was in his rookie season. I mean, he caught on quick. The pro transition was not that difficult for Chase Young. He is one of the best pass rushers in the NFL when he is healthy. And Andrew Thomas always did a very good job defending him. He did a really good job pass protecting against Chase Young, which was always kind of like a glimpse of what's to come, I guess, for Andrew Thomas. Because even as a rookie, when he was struggling, we saw the way that he handled Chase Young. He went into that battle and he succeeded. And we knew that there was a lot to develop there with Andrew Thomas. But on the right side of the line, Montes Sweat was able to just destroy a guy like Nate Solder, a guy like Matt Parrott. But now with Evan Neal being there, that's super important because you can potentially have someone who's capable of maybe not shutting down Chase Young, but managing Chase Young and making sure that he doesn't ruin a game. And now, potentially, if Evan Neal develops the right way, they have pretty much like the kryptonite to both of those pass rushers, hopefully. You know, they've got a guy on the left side can manage Chase Young, and now they've got a guy on the right side who hopefully can manage Montez Sweat. And I think that's super important. But one thing that I will say to keep an eye out on for the Giants versus the Commanders, the Commanders have a very great interior defensive line with a couple of really good pass rushers. Jonathan Allen is one of the best pass rushing interior defensive linemen in the NFL. In 2021, he did have 9 sacks and he made the Pro Bowl. He is a great player. And Darren Payne also had 4.5 sacks, the other interior defensive lineman in that 4-3 front. So there are a lot of talented players on the Commanders defensive line. When you're taking a look at the Giants offensive line versus any other defensive line, this is the toughest matchup on that offensive line schedule, in my opinion, and they have to face this team twice. So whenever we play Washington, that's the true test for these young offensive linemen. Can they succeed versus the Washington Commanders front seven? If they can, that bodes really well for the futures of Andrew Thomas and Evan Neal, in my opinion, because that is a really difficult matchup. And especially when you're taking a look at the interior defensive linemen, that's when we talk about guys like John Feliciano just signed over from the Buffalo Bills. And when we're talking about guys like Joshua Azidu and Mark Lewinsky, let's make sure that those signings and draft picks were impact players so that they can handle those really good interior defensive linemen. Because we're talking about the Commanders right now, but we're going to get into another team, Philadelphia. They also have really good interior defensive linemen. So it is of the utmost importance that the Giants offensive line takes a huge step forward this year. And we have seen that from Andrew Thomas. He took a huge step forward last year, but let's hope that there is a major impact made by Evan Neal on the right side so that, yeah, maybe we can manage Chase Young, but then we're going to get beat up by Montez Sweat. Hopefully not. Hopefully Evan Neal is the force that prevents that from happening.
Right. And there's two things I do want to throw out there, right? The first one is I haven't really been as optimistic as I am right now about the Giants offensive line. Look, we have a long way to go, but I haven't been this optimistic about a group of players on this offensive line on this team for maybe like 5-6 years. It's been a very long time. Last year, you know, when Dave Gettleman came out and said, hey, we obviously like the offensive line a lot more than you guys do. I mean, that guy must have been looking in 10 years ago film, because I don't even know what he was looking at that made him think that this team was even close to competing. But now you look at the Giants right now, you know, Evan Neal, one of my favorite things that he said during the pre-draft process, they have kind of a clip of him meeting with the Giants behind the scenes. And he goes, and they ask him, like, what do you love football? Like, what do you love the most about football? And he goes, it's my release. You know, it's where I let go of my pent up anger. It's where I let go of my pent up aggression. It's how I get rid of all that stress in my life. If someone cuts me off in line, I can't pancake block him in line. But on the football field, he can pancake block people. And I think that when you're looking at Evan Neal, man, that dude is a massive human being. you coach him up the right way, he has all pro potential, Pro Bowl potential, whatever it is you might want to look for in him. He's got it, right? Tangibly, he's got it. He's fast, he's quick. If he gets his fundamentals right, he is going to be a stud right tackle for this team. And the two main points about having two offensive tackles on rookie contracts is that they're cost controlled, right? The Giants now can move into the future, right? Andrew Thomas is a first-round pick, so they have 4 more years of cost-controlled play for Andrew Thomas, 3 more on a rookie deal that, is pretty low for a player of his quality. Evan Neal, now we have 5 years, hasn't even played his first season yet. We have plenty of time. If the Giants can continue to rebuild at the right pace and they're making good progress, in 2 years, maybe we're a playoff team. Those 2 players are still on their rookie contracts, and we have 2 more years until they have to be retained or let go, whatever it might be. Joe Schoen made sure to focus in on having cost control players at high price positions. So what positions have we now filled with cost control players? Both offensive tackle spots, both pass rushing spots, and both receiving spot, or multiple receiving spots with Kadarius Toney and Wan'Dale Robinson. That's 4, 5, 6 major costly positions in the NFL that the Giants now have on rookie contracts with very, very good players that have all Pro Bowl upside. Like I said, whatever you may see their upside, they have it. Like, they're that good. This is what's most exciting about the team. They're not just thinking about what's on the field, but they're thinking about the monetary aspect as well and the financials of their decisions. And seemingly next year, they have about, $70, $75 million to spend next year. They can release Leonard Williams and save $18 million if they want to do that. Adoree Jackson, Kenny Golladay could save some money there and just really turn this whole roster over into the new guys. They're going to have so much money, and that's not even to mention that they can offload contracts one season to the second year of deals. Like, they can do things to spread out cap hits where they can even make that money look even more. That's what the Saints continuously do. So I really, really think that the Giants, after this season, they lay the groundwork, develop those young guys. We're in such a good spot to move forward. Quarterback wise, we'll see what happens with Daniel Jones. I'm going to let that kind of unfold naturally, see what happens there. But so far, Azeez Ojulari, Kayvon Thibodeaux, Evan Neal, and Andrew Thomas, those guys on rookie contracts, Kadarius Toney and Wan'Dale Robinson, like, this is extremely exciting if you're a Giants fan. This is what a foundational rebuild looks like. And now you plug the quarterback into a rookie contract, and everyone always says the rookie quarterback window, the rookie quarterback, that money, that contract window, that's where you want to build their team up. The Giants, if they get the new rookie quarterback next year, they're going to have all of those positions filled with rookie contracts. Talk about plugging in positions with big money. They have the money and flexibility to say, you know what? If there's a huge receiver on the market that we really want, if there's a huge linebacker or a great pass rusher or a great cornerback, we can go get them easily, and we don't have to skip a beat. We don't have to do anything. We don't have to restructure any freaking contracts like Dave Gettleman has had to do. Joe Schoen was forced to do this offseason. We can roll into the future knowing that we're in a good spot financially, but also with great talented players that the coaching staff continue to develop. I think that's kind of the best way to break it down. Anthony, what do you think about that?
I think that is the best way to break it down. And I want to mention something that you mentioned. I want to kind of build on it. You discussed that quote from Evan Neal. I watched that same video. They asked him, why do you love football? And you gave the explanation there. But I really loved the follow-up question. The follow-up question was, what do you hate about football? And he said, nothing. I just love football. And I loved that. He has nothing to complain about. He could have said losing. I hate to lose, anything like that. But no, he just loves football. He loves it for everything that it is. And I really liked that quote. And building on everything that you're saying in terms of being cost efficient, it kind of reminds me of when the New Orleans Saints were building their team around Ryan Ramczyk and Teron Armstead. Teron Armstead, an amazing left tackle, just got that bag with the Miami Dolphins. He was with the New Orleans Saints for 9 years, but his second contract was pretty affordable. It wasn't really, I think he was getting around, let me take a look. He was getting around $10 million per year, which is a lot less than the $18 million per year that he's now being paid by Miami or whatever it is. He was making around $10 million per year, which is somewhat comparable to where Andrew Thomas is right now, because he was the 4th overall pick. And then they also had Ryan Ramczyk on a rookie contract, and that allowed them to spend a lot of money elsewhere. Now, we know now that the Saints are in a really bad cap situation, but that's because they went all in for Drew Brees. They wanted to get as many pieces onto that roster to try and help Drew Brees win. And they almost did it. They got really close quite a few times. It's unfortunate that they weren't able to do it because obviously Drew Brees deserved another ring. But when you take a look at how they built that roster, they were able to spend a lot of money at receiver, a lot of money on their defensive line, a lot of money in their secondary. They were able to build out that roster and spend money wherever they wanted because they had cost control at multiple positions, including the offensive tackle position that you just mentioned. They had Ryan Ramczyk on a rookie deal, and they also had Teron Armstead on a bargain of a contract. So that gave them the ability to spend money elsewhere. And that's where the Giants might be setting themselves up. Offensive tackle is a premium position. If you want to sign an offensive tackle on the free agent market, you're looking at one of those Teron Armstead contracts. Look at what Orlando Brown got. You know, there are so many offensive tackles that you might not even look at as a top tier offensive tackle like Orlando Brown, but they're getting that money because it's such a premium position. And the Giants now, at least for the next 4 years, don't have to worry about spending all that money on that premium position. They've got cost control contracts, and that gives them the freedom and flexibility to spend money elsewhere. And that is super important, and it is one of the ways that you win in the modern NFL.
Yep, it's entirely necessary. So hopefully the Giants can figure out the quarterback position and allocate their funds appropriately. We'll see how things unfold, guys. But having those two offensive tackles in Neal and Thomas is absolutely a home run for this organization. Financially, you're going to see teams all over the league. You know, the Cowboys. Every team lets offensive tackles go all the time. How many times have we seen guys move around the league? Orlando Brown, the Ravens traded him. Like so many players, teams just can't afford them. They get so expensive, $18 to $25 million. It's like, how, for a tackle for one position, it's so expensive. So now is the time for the Giants to rebuild. Andrew Thomas now looks like a Pro Bowl caliber offensive tackle. Evan Neal, obviously, Saquon Barkley's going to be buying this man a huge Christmas gift. He's going to love Evan Neal. Dude is going to move mountains for him in the running game. And Mark Lewinsky next to him, another good run blocker. This rushing attack is going to be totally different this year. And I'm really excited to see how it unfolds. It's going to be awesome to watch hopefully the ton of progress that we see. But guys, I'd love to hear your opinions below on this situation and tackle. Definitely curious to hear your thoughts. Much love as always. Make sure to like and subscribe below. And we'll catch you guys on the next Fireside Giants episode.